Alright guys, what is up? Today I'm going to break down this movie. It is a movie from the 80s, I believe. It's called They Live, and it tells a lot in this movie. I'm sure you've heard of it or seen it before, especially if you are interested in what's going on in the world. I think it's important to be interested in what's going on in the world, but I also think it's important to trust in God, have faith in God, and not fear anything, because what do we have to fear? If God is with us, who can be against us? So, here we go. Here's the movie. This man puts on these glasses, and all of a sudden, he can see the demons, okay? Looks like little robotic people in this movie, but it represents a spiritual war, okay? These two people do not have the spirits on them, so that represents the fact that they still have their soul and they still have God. But as you can see in this clip, they have the spirits on them. They're demons. All right. These people have been turned over to a reprobate state of mind. This is literally, and I do mean literally, the world we are living in. If you think of people when you walk out the door as either for God or against God, either demon possessed or possessed by the Holy Spirit, and I hate to say the word possessed, but it's like you either have God in your body or you don't. Like there's no other way. And by meaning, like, if you don't believe in God, then that means you have demons in your body because you don't have a choice. You either believe in God or you're going to open yourself up to spiritual warfare. You're going to have doors, swinging doors. And what happens when you have swinging doors is the devil is able to use you as a tool for the satanic kingdom to attack God's kingdom. So, these people are walking around soulless. They have turned away from God and have been left to a reprobate state of mind, living in their sin, refusing to acknowledge God. This is where God leaves them. And as you can see, most people are demonic. Most people in this world are full of demons. And there's no in between. Like I said, and this dude is confiding in his friend, whom he thinks is normal, but he doesn't see behind the eyes. The eyes tell it all. And you, like Jesus says, you will know a tree by their fruit. What fruit are they producing? This man is getting advice, getting an opinion from a demon, and he doesn't even realize it. It's so important to watch who your friends are, even your family members. Like, people are possessed by demons, they're under a reprobate state of mind, they're giving you advice, leading you astray, telling you all kinds of different confusion. A lot of people on this YouTube, like, you have to test the spirit, because so many people on YouTube, they think they're doing a righteous act for God and they're not. Like it says in the Bible, like I think in the last days, like they'll kill God's people and think they're doing a righteous act for God. Like the same way they did to Jesus, they will do it to you. And they think that whatever advice they're giving you is true, but it's because demons have taken over aspects of their personality. So like they make you believe that what you're saying is true. They make you believe that what you're doing is right. Woe to him who calls good evil and evil good. A man has good in his heart only when he has God, only when he has the truth. Okay, if you have demons in you, it's very hard for you to truly be good. Yes, you can have moments of goodness. Yes, you can have moments of kindness, but that's because you are made in the image of God, and the demons have taken over aspects of your personality, but you are still yourself. I truly do believe that they change parts of your DNA. I don't think that I don't think that you can like never go back to God, but it's awfully hard to get back to God when you're under a reprobate state of mind. That means you have ignored God for too long. And so here he's just getting advice from his so-called friend who is just fully possessed by demons. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. All around, there's signs of like, yes, it says obey here, but what this really means is that like society teaches you that we should be materialistic, we should be worldly. We chase money, we chase an education, which is actually ridiculous. It says in the book of Romans that the more you call yourself a philosopher, the more stupid you grow. See, because the worldly knowledge is stupid to God. The worldly knowledge can do nothing for your soul. The deeper you dive into worldly knowledge, the more stupid you get spiritually. That's why it's so important to seek and knock and pray and ask God for wisdom. Wisdom is the best thing, the most precious thing that you can get on this planet. And you cannot get wisdom. I'd say 99% of the time, you're not going to get any wisdom in the books. You're not going to get any wisdom from school because they want to teach you knowledge that is just confusion, because the devil is the author of confusion. So all the math and history and all this stuff you're learning it's honestly just to confuse your mind and also keep you busy with things that you really don't need. I mean, and you sound so smart in front of people, but it's not smart. And the people who are actually smart and have the wisdom sound completely crazy like me. So if you're like that, welcome to the club, guys. um all right, why aren't we moving here? So anyway, this is just a representation of demons. Look, they're calling on their backup. They're telling the devil, like, look, he sees us, he knows us. And the last thing the devil wants you to do is recognize who he is and recognize that he's in people, because the people that he's in don't know he's in them. Like I said, forgive them for they know not what they do. And that's not my saying. It actually comes from this really famous guy. But forgive them for they know not what they do. These people have no idea. They're being used as puppets, tools. Look how the devil works. Stop my video. It's not even playing anymore. You see how this works? Like, why the video is unpaused, but it won't play. This is the type of stuff that happens. See? When you're trying to speak the truth, the devil tries to stop you, okay? But we're going to keep on going. This man comes outside and then the authorities show up. So you know how this lady's beautiful. You think a beautiful face doesn't have a bunch of demons? That doesn't matter. Beautiful face, lots of money, all that. Nothing, and I do mean nobody, is immune to spiritual warfare. We are out here fighting a spiritual war every single day of our lives. Look, the authorities show up. And this is how it happens. You ever notice you fight these same demons, they're jumping in people, just like in the Spider-Man video I made recently. The Spider-Man video shows you, like, these demons are jumping into different people. The devil is constantly watching God's people because there's so few of them. You're the salt of the earth. There's so few of God's people on this planet left. So when you're walking around, you have this bright light shining on this dark world. So the devil and his little demons, they recognize you. They know who you are. They know exactly who you are, and they know that they need to watch you. They need to, and again, they don't know what they're doing. A lot of them don't know what they're doing. The demons know what they're doing, though, because automatically, again, when you sign up to work for the devil, and the only way you can sign up is by living in willful, perpetual sin and rebelling against God. Okay? Rebelling against God's nature, God's true nature, which is your true nature, because you are made in the image of God. So when you go against your true nature, the godly nature, because yes, it is in your nature to sin. It is in your nature because you live in the flesh, but I'm talking about your true spiritual nature, not your fleshly nature, not the things that are of this world. We're talking about your true form, which is your spiritual form. That is your true form. This is a temporary world that we're living in, a temporary body, okay? But our body is the temple of God. It holds the Spirit of God, which is what I meant by being possessed by God, fully possessed by the Holy Spirit. Because the same way you could be possessed by the devil, you could be possessed by God. The Holy Spirit lives inside of you and works through you. The same way the demons live inside of all these people and work through them. Sometimes, even as God's chosen people, we don't even realize that we're being worked through. Like, you don't realize when you say certain things, when you make certain moves, God's moving through you. You don't even realize it at the time, because the Spirit works different than the flesh. The Spirit works different than this material world that we're living in. So these people don't even know what they're doing, y'all. It's crazy. The video just completely stopped working, but look, these cops are demons, y'all. Not all of them. I'm not saying all of them, but these ones specifically. And I'm pretty sure many of them, many of them. These guys are a lot of the times narcissists. Again, a narcissist is somebody who's under a reprobate state of mind, who is completely rebelled against God, and God has left them. So whenever you get so far away from God because you keep watching the videos, you keep eating and you keep drinking, you keep living in sin, you refuse to acknowledge God. Again, it's one thing when you're fighting against it, right? You're like, oh, my spirit's too strong. I know I'm not, I'm sorry, God, please forgive me. And you're trying, like, God will reach out and give you grace. But again, you cannot take advantage of God's grace and think you can keep doing things and God just, you know, keep forgiving and forgiving and forgiving. Because, like I always said to a narcissist that was in my life, I always said, you want me to do what even God doesn't do. You want me to keep forgiving. You want me to keep just letting you back, letting you back. But guess what? God doesn't even do that. I can't be better than God. God doesn't even keep, when you live in your sin, God says, I'm going to let you do you. Okay, that's okay. You go do you, but I'm not going to be there. So then you're going to wreak all sorts of depravities. You're going to be steeped in all sorts of depravities. You start taking on personality traits of the devil. And the more you do it, the bigger the demon gets, the stronger the devil gets. I've been through so much spiritual war. I'm telling you, I've noticed things like changes in my own self when I was like hooked up on things. Like, I wouldn't say like addicted to, because I've never really been addicted to any like drinking or things like that, but like say caffeine, just too much caffeine starts changing you, man. Like, it starts messing with you, it changes you. Too much of your phone, too much of anything, y'all, any addiction that you're putting before God, and there's no hiding from that. Like, you can't lie. You can lie to everyone around you, but you can't lie to God. You can't lie to your conscience. You can't lie to yourself, because there's just no getting around it. God has meant whatever it is in your life that is got a hold of you. You know it. You know what it is because God has already told you what it is, but you're not listening, right? Because we don't like to listen, because we like to live in our like comfortability. We like to be comfortable, right? So anyway, guys, y'all be out here watching these demons, because these demons do exist. We're in a spiritual war every single solitary moment of our lives. The devil is trying to somehow attack us, somehow get to us. So I will be making another video soon. I love you guys, and I'm sorry that my video froze. I don't know what happened with that, but I do love you guys, and I'm always praying for y'all, and I'm always just asking God to help this world and help the people who are in need and help the people who are struggling with sin and can't get out of sin. I'm always praying for y'all. And if you do have any specific prayers, leave them in the comments, because I promise you, a friend that prays for you is a gem. If you can think of a single person in your life who actually spends time praying to God, it's the most valuable thing in the world, and do not take it for granted. Someone who prays for you is an angel, you guys, because it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Just think about it, just think about it. All right, guys, I'll talk to y'all soon.